Hello students, welcome to ePathshala. My name is Ashima Gupta and I am an assistant professor in postgraduate Government College for Girls, Sector 42, Chandigarh. I'll begin with the introduction of this paper. The purpose of discussing this paper is to understand the evolution of SAARC as a regional organization in South Asia. It also looks towards and discusses the various distinctions and differences between old and new regionalism. SAARC as an area of concern was very prominent in the 1980s. This particular organization was actually launched in 1985 in South Asia and was perhaps one of its own kind. The South Asian region is actually classified and characterized by various rivalries between various nations over issues such as military, economy, migration, trading, and boundary conflicts. SAARC came up with the objective of encouraging friendship and promoting adjustment among various members of these countries. SAARC was actually, as I've said, was formed in 1985 and was started by 7 countries, but because of bilateral conflicts between countries such as India and Pakistan, it has been impossible to conduct the meetings of this organization at regular intervals, and often the 19th summit of this organization was not conducted. Presently, countries like America and China enjoy observer status in this organization and try to enhance the regional cooperation within the region. Objectives. After going through this module, you should be able to understand the meaning and nature of regionalism, trace the distinction between old and new regionalism, understand the importance of regional cooperation in South Asia, appreciate the achievements of SAARC, and analyze the challenges and problems before SAARC as a regional cooperation. Regional cooperation. The hallmark of contemporary international politics is the proliferation of regional groupings of varied nature and scope. Regional framework is being widely accepted as a strategy for meeting the challenges of the present unjust world economic order and overcoming internal structural inadequacies. Regionalism refers to the expression of a common sense of identity and purpose combined with the creation and implementation of institutions that express a particular identity and shape collective action within a geographical region. Evolution of the idea. The problem of defining regions and regionalism attracted a good deal of academic attention in the late 60s and early 70s of the last century. During this period, particular attention was given to the idea of regional interdependence. The regional challenge of this period fell far short of expectations, as there were few places outside Europe where the regionalist experiment had produced tangible results. The period since late 80s of the last century has witnessed a resurgence of regionalism in world politics. It was the developments in the European community in mid-80s of the last century set against a broader pattern of global economic change and followed by a radical transformation of Eastern Europe and Soviet Union at the end of the decade, which led to renewed interest in new forms of regionalism. Regionalist arrangements have been central to many debates about the nature of post-Cold War world order. Nothing succeeds like success, and so further impetus came from the European Union through the completion of Single European Market and the signing of the Maastricht Treaty. The third wave of democratization and trend towards liberal welfare state among countries creates a more hospitable environment to independence at the regional and global level. Contemporary instability stems from intra-regional or domestic dynamics that is to be understood and addressed on their own terms. Moreover, The knowledge economy of our century also makes regionalism inevitable and irreversible. New regionalism. It is said that the new wave of regionalist activity ranges from discussion of a world of regional trading blocs on one hand to increased emphasis on sub-regionalism, cooperation and integration on the other. The period since late 1980s has witnessed a resurgence of regionalism in world politics. The substantial increase in the regionally based institutionalized cooperation among states during 1990s led to observers like Hetne, Inotai and Sankel to term this feature as new regionalism. It is claimed that the new recent wave of regionalist activity ranges from discussion of a world of regional trading blocs on one hand to increase emphasis on sub-regional cooperation and integration on the other. The newness of this wave of regionalism stems from its multidimensional characters. Writers like Aaron Friedberg, Richard Roserens and Keneshi Oham noted that both the domestic and international context of 1990s is much more favorable than that of 1960s because of the end of Cold War and fixed alliance system blocs. The South Asian scenario. South Asia is a compact unit of subcontinental proportions, but occupying an easily identifiable geographical space, enjoying a broad cultural unity and a wide range of intra-regional economic complementarities. There were mighty empires in its history that straddled this subcontinent, and the experience of colonialism more recently reinforced the legacy of interconnectedness and affinity. The subcontinent is now home to several independent and sovereign states, and this is a compelling political reality. South Asia encompasses 8 independent sovereign countries: Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Maldives, Nepal, Pakistan, Sri Lanka and Afghanistan, which dominate the northern half of the Indian Ocean. It is the largest geographical entity of the Indian Ocean community and almost a continental whole. Apart from economic gains, regional cooperation is needed for maintenance of peace and security, social unity, promotion of cultural synthesis, and also for religious integrity. One of the major obstacles towards regional integration is political and military conflicts between the states of this region. Bilateral political relations in this region are defined by suspicion, strife, rivalry, and antagonism. South Asian region has uniqueness in shared history, heritage, literature, culture, religion and language. The commonality of culture and religion provides a strong motive for regional cooperation, as it has similar lifestyle, fashion and clothing trends, music, food or even cinema. In this context, the South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation was founded, as this region is derived from geographical structures which contribute to a harmony within which cultural, religious, economic and social processes of cooperation can arise. SAARC. The South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation is an economic and political organization of 8 countries in Southern Asia. In terms of population, its sphere of influence is the largest of any regional organization, almost 1.5 billion people. SAARC provides a platform for the people of South Asia to work together in the spirit of understanding. It aims to accelerate the process of economic and social development in member states. Origin. Bangladesh President Ziaur Rahman first mooted the idea in 1970s for creation of a trade bloc consisting of South Asian countries. The Declaration of South Asian Regional Cooperation was adopted by the Foreign Ministers in 1983 in New Delhi. The South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation was established when its charter was formally adopted on December 8, 1985 at Dhaka. In 1978, the Committee for Studies on Cooperation in Development, led by the erudite and visionary Tarlok Singh, first took this initiative. Long before the proposition of creating a regional organization for South Asian countries was floated at the official level, the CSCD was involved in conceptualizing the idea of a South Asian community as well as spelling out its actual economic possibilities. The intergovernmental body of the South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation was subsequently born in 1985. The evolution: India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Maldives and Bhutan started the association. Afghanistan was added to the regional grouping at the behest of India on November 13, 2005 and became a member on April 3, 2007. With the addition of Afghanistan, the total number of member states were raised to 8. SAARC Secretariat is located at Kathmandu, Nepal. In April 2006, the United States of America and South Korea made formal requests to be granted observer status. The European Union also indicated interest in being given observer status and made a formal request for the same to the SAARC Council of Ministers meeting in July 2006. On August 2, 2006, the foreign ministers of the SAARC countries agreed in principle to grant observer status to US, South Korea and the European Union. Iran has also been the observer status. The pulls of globalization and regionalism appear to be paradoxical in nature, one calling for extension and the other calling for contraction. The South Asian countries carry forward their regional institutional mechanism with promises and various deadlines to attain achievements. However, to have greater regional cohesion, it is important to have similar political system which the South Asian countries are far interested to achieve. The summits. The first summit was held in Dhaka, Bangladesh, in which member countries signed the SAARC Charter on 8 December 1985, thereby establishing the regional association and established study groups on the problem of terrorism and drug trafficking, as well as planning a ministerial level meeting about GATT. The second summit was held in India. The head of states or government welcomed the signing of Memorandum of Understanding on establishment of SAARC Secretariat by the Council of Ministers. The third summit was held in Nepal. The fourth summit was held in Pakistan and declared 1989 to be the SAARC year against drug abuse. The fifth summit was held in Maldives and the leaders signed the SAARC Convention on Narcotic Drugs. The sixth summit was held in Sri Lanka. The seventh summit was held in Bangladesh. Eighth was held in India. The ninth summit was held in Maldives. The 10th summit was held in Sri Lanka. SAARC countries stressed for eradicating poverty and promoting joint collaboration. The 11th summit was held in Nepal. The 12th summit was held in Islamabad. The 13th summit was held in Bangladesh and was memorable for the inclusion of Afghanistan. The 14th summit of SAARC was held in India. The 15th summit of SAARC was held in Sri Lanka. The 16th summit was held in Bhutan on 28 to 29 April 2010 with the theme Towards a Green and Happy South Asia. The 17th summit was held from 10th to 11th of November 2011 in Maldives, which signed most importantly SAARC Agreement on Rapid Response to Natural Disasters and SAARC Seed Bank Agreement. The 18th SAARC Summit was held at Nepal from November 26 to November 27, 2014, with the motto for deeper integration for peace and prosperity. The 19th SAARC Summit was scheduled to be held in November 2016 in Pakistan. But because of Pakistan's increasing lenient attitude towards its elite-sponsored terrorist attacks on India, all the member countries except Nepal boycotted the summit's host. SAARC's achievements. The achievements of SAARC lies in two respects. One is its built-in organizational design that comprises of 6 apex bodies like SAARC Chamber of Commerce and Industry, SAARC Law, South Asian Federation of Accountants, South Asia Foundation, South Asia Initiative to End Violence Against Children, Foundation of SAARC Writers and Literature. The other area of achievement lies through its working like SAFTA, a free trade agreement confined to goods, but excluding all services like information technology. Agreement was signed to reduce custom duties of all traded goods to zero by the year 2016. SAFTA, South Asia Preferential Trading Agreement for promoting trade amongst the member countries came into effect in 1995. SAARC visa exemption decided that certain categories of dignitaries should be entitled to a special travel document which would exempt them from visas within the region. SAARC also made avenues for greater cultural cooperation for achieving the advantages of least developed countries by providing forum for bilateral and regional agreements to the small poor nations for collaboration among themselves for development. SAARC Problems and Prospects. The 8 countries of South Asia possess a very complex relationship with the deep psychological impact of partition in South Asia. The notion of nationalism in a way was reflexive in South Asia, where the nationalism of one South Asian country is articulated only vis-a-vis that of another South Asian country. In this background, it is very difficult to have a composite South Asian identity. As a region, South Asia presents a specter of instability and disorder. The situation in some of these South Asian countries has indeed worsened since the painting of such scenarios. Afghanistan and Pakistan look far more vulnerable to jihadi terror. Nepal's peace process looks shaky and the developments in Bangladesh are confused and uncertain. The SAARC countries are trying to develop by bypassing the regional institution and organization. Even in this milieu of connectivity, theme persisting in SAARC, it is difficult to transform the conflictual attitude of the member states in the region. Issues like Kashmir dispute, terrorism, migration, Indo-Pak chronic dispute, mutual antagonism between Pakistan and Afghanistan will surely loom large over facilitating connectivity. One of the most concerned area in the SAARC Charter is the presence of Article 10, whereby the contentious and bilateral issues shall be avoided and all decisions at all levels shall be taken Let me conclude this topic. SAARC as a regional organization presently is very important in the South Asian region. SAARC, though it faces a lot of problems, the ultimate solution for various countries is to resolve their mutual conflict and look into solving broader issues such as climate change and trade relations. Regionalism was not very important in the time of Cold War, specifically in the South Asian countries. But it is only after looking into the idea of South-South cooperation, that SAARC actually emerged, and up to some extent it was able to solve maximum of the conflicts and forging proper friendship and cooperation in the region.